How's it going, everybody? We've got some exciting stuff, both Tesla and outside of Tesla, we're going to talk about today. One being the Rivian R1T, right? So the Rivian R1T is a fully electric pickup truck, not by Tesla. However, it was a Tesla engineer that left and started the company. So kind of Tesla-ish, and you'll see some of the, kind of Tesla effects on the design of the vehicle, but they're expected or projected or promised, I guess, to launch this month. Right. Now, this month is almost over, so who knows if they'll actually meet that deadline or not, but they've been talking about it for a couple of years. It's been one of those things that I've kind of thought to myself, like, who knows if it'll ever actually come to fruition, just because a lot of companies talk about these kinds of things and they never do it. But supposedly it's coming really soon. But there's some neat stuff about the car that we wanted to talk about, or the truck, I should say, and then kind of the effects I think it'll have on Tesla. Talk about a refresh, redesign Model S, 3, X, and Y, or at least interior-wise. Not the redesign that you're thinking about, or not the redesign that maybe I wanted on some of those things, but nonetheless, some redesigns. Model X in the wild, maybe they reamped up production. Some future delays on the car, Teslas. Ordering a Model Y right now, you're waiting 6 months for it if you want it brand new, unless you buy something in stock. Or if you buy a performance or something like that. So we'll talk about that a little bit, and then we'll talk about this recently opened investigation by NHTSA, National Highway Transportation and Safety Administration, on the full self-driving. And not just for Tesla, all of them, but the headline always reads Tesla. So sit back, relax. You guys are watching The Tall Tesla Guy. So we're going to start right into this Rivian R1T. Now, the reason why I'm even talking about this, because you guys know I talk pretty much mostly Tesla. I love talking about Tesla. I love the vehicle. I love our Model Y that we have. And I just love what it's doing for the industry, what it's doing for electric vehicles as a whole, not just in the United States, but globally. I think it's super cool, and I think what they have is going to be super neat, and moving forward, I think it's going to be a good thing for us. However, I do also appreciate other companies doing the same thing. Now, not necessarily copying Tesla, but I appreciate that they can jump out there, join it, get on the bandwagon, move forward. I mean, you talk to Elon about his goal for Tesla. It's not just to make Tesla the best in the world, make them the #1, but it's to further the EV revolution, right? By furthering the EV revolution, you have to get other auto manufacturers on board, or it's never going to make an impact. It's never going to change. It's always going to be kind of the same thing. So that's one of the reasons why I'm excited about the Rivian R1. Now, I like the design of it. Now, I'm going to go on record saying that you guys know that I don't love the way that the Cybertruck looks. It's a little too radical for me. I wish it was more closely related to some of the concept designs that people came up with. Now, I know Elon wouldn't do that. That's not what he was doing with the car, not what he was doing when he kind of jumped into the pickup truck kind of arena. He wanted something radically different. And in fact, he even said, I don't care if people don't buy it, people won't like it, maybe it'll flop, but I love the way that it looks. Now, Rivian is almost like in between a mid-sized truck, like a Colorado, a Ford Ranger, and an F-150. So not quite as big and beefy as an F-150, but they're toting that it's got 11,000 pounds of towing capacity, which is pretty close to what the F-150 has. So 11,000 pounds of towing capacity with up to 400 miles of range, and then all these other neat features and designs of it. A pull-out, expensive anyway, $5,000 worth, but a pull-out like kitchen that you can have on the side. All this storage in it. It's a crew cab, as it were, so you have the back seat and stuff. This tent package that you can put on top of it. Like all these features and functionality that make it like a camper type of truck. They're saying that it is an off-road vehicle. They're saying that you can take it off-road. It's got a high clearance on it. It's got rugged tires, rugged suspension, and it seems to. Motor Trend did a complete review of the car. They gave it 5 stars. They said it was the best pickup truck they've driven in years. They talked about the suspension. They talked about how it was nice and smooth going over, like riding on air, which is nice, and it's nice for a truck. So that part's great. That part is good. Now, some of the things that they talked about that they didn't like, the comfort of the seats. They said the back seats specifically are uncomfortable. Now, that's one of the things that I love about my Tesla. I love that about our Model Y is that he designed, he being Elon and friends, they designed the seats from the ground up. They didn't take an outside manufacturer that just makes seats for other auto companies and put them in Tesla. They designed it from scratch. They wanted it to be comfortable. They wanted to remove all those pinch points and make it uncomfortable on the long drives. And I can attest to the fact that they did. They succeeded there. It's the most comfortable vehicle that I've ever ridden in as far as sitting in the seats go. It's super, super comfortable, even on the long road trips, and even for a tall person at 6'5". I just love the way that you feel inside of it. So I'm disappointed that the Rivian didn't adapt that part of it. However, it looks like they took the kind of the interior features. You know, less dials and buttons. They have the scroll bars on the wheel, just like Teslas do. They even have the horizontal screen that Tesla does. Now, one thing Rivian's not going to have is the supercharging network, right? So even if they get 400 miles of range, which I'm not sure how they're going to do it without a fancier battery or more battery, they're not going to have the charging network, charging infrastructure that Tesla has. And then on top of that, if you're pulling 11,000 pounds and you've got, even if you have 400 miles of range, you're lucky to get half that. Now, the Rivian R1T starts at 69,000 and it gives you about 240 miles of range, which at 11,000 pounds, you're lucky to get 100 miles out of it. So that might be kind of a sticking point. A lot of people with the trucks, one of the reasons why they're hesitant to move over to an electric vehicle, even if it were the Ford F-150 Lightning, the Cybertruck, the Hummer EV, is the range. The range, you just won't have it. You just won't have it when you're doing that kind of stuff. And they get nervous about it that you're not going to find charging networks out in the middle of the campground like you would have a gas station, for example. So I think that might be a hindrance for people jumping into this market, even with this coming out here. But one of the advantages, one of the positives I think for it, is it's going to push companies like Tesla into making their Cybertruck actually happen. But maybe even putting the accelerator down to get it to happen sooner than later. We've been waiting for the Cybertruck for what seems like forever. In reality, it's been about 3 or 4 years. But we haven't seen anything. Nothing's come out for it. They don't have any production. In reality, they're no closer to producing the Cybertruck now than they were before, except for Giga Austin going online and where it's actually going to come from. So, you know, what I think is going to happen with this Rivian R1T is that a lot of people are going to want it, a lot of people are going to buy it, a lot of people are going to get it and like it, that it's going to push Tesla into producing their Cybertruck faster. They have 1.5 million reservations with the Cybertruck, which of course was only $100 down to get it, and it was refundable. So a lot of people might cancel once it comes to actually making that payment for it. But it started at 39,000, going up to 69,000, and it's supposed to have plus 500 miles of range. So already right there, you're gonna have more range, a lower price tag, and could be something that you know, is a Tesla versus anything else. So you have the charging infrastructure that you won't get with the Rivian. But you know, nonetheless, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about when other companies produce EVs. I'm excited about how the market can shift and change and how it can add to, you know, kind of keep Tesla on point so that they move forward and they keep innovating and kind of accelerate the delivery of things. And that kind of touches base or jumps right into the Model S, 3, X, and Y. Like, they've had some things they're calling radical changes with them, which in reality are just interior changes, interior technology design changes, some software update features. You know, they've actually seen a Model X in the wild that's got the chrome delete you know, door handles on it. It's got the yoke steering wheel, stuff like that, that makes us think that maybe they're no longer halted the production of the Model X. Maybe they're actually producing it again, like they did with the Model S when they came out with the yoke steering wheel and the, you know, newly designed screen that's actually a horizontal screen instead of the vertical console screen that they used to have. Well, they adopted that into the Model X, which makes sense that they would, and it's going to be the same kind of thing. So radically inside design changes, maybe, but you know, changes nonetheless. And then the new battery technology is going to add to it. You know, whether or not they get the 4680 battery out of, you know, kind of idea phase, or they go with these blade batteries. Either way, it's exciting that they'll be able to get that in the car and get that produced. Now, of course, they're dealing with chip shortages. They're dealing with part shortages, just like any other company goes. You jump online right now, order yourself a new Model Y, you're waiting 6 months for it. I mean, 6 months down the road is a long time. It's a pretty big pill for people, a lot of people to swallow. So, you know, that's hindering delays, but they're trying to readjust their timelines for things. They're trying to readjust their, you know, delivery expectations on stuff to give you kind of a more realistic picture when you order something like this. So, you know, moving forward, Tesla is going to be able to get in front of this, you know, supply shortage a little bit better than they had before, which will be nice moving forward. We just have to get over this hurdle. We just have to get over this hump, get to the point where they can actually, you know, start delivering on some of the stuff that people are actually buying. So, you know, that, and then you end up getting a new probe from NHTSA, the National Highway Transportation and Safety Administration. You have them kind of diving into full self-driving, right? Now, it's not just Tesla. However, Tesla is always at the front of the headline. Tesla full self-driving under investigation. But it's really all companies full self-driving. You know, the driver assist program from GM, Cadillac, the driver assist program from Ford, Chevy. I mean, every car company that has any sort of driver assist program, NHTSA is actually investigating. They're determining how driver assistee, which isn't really a word, but the program actually is, and then what the company is using to sell it, how they're saying it. Now, Tesla happens to say full self-driving, beta, which, you know, most people don't read the beta part of it and they think full self-driving. I can just sit back, relax, the car will take me where I need to go. It's not like that. It's not even close to that. That's a level 5 autonomy, and Tesla at best is maybe a level 2. Most other companies are really only a level 1. They'll give you some, you know, lane keeping technology. They won't let you hit the next car in front of you, stuff like that. Whereas Tesla will actually overtake cars. They'll pass cars on the highway. They'll stop at stop signs so they can read traffic signals. They can actually approach an intersection and go once it's clear, stuff like that, and navigate off of the highway to your home. So stuff like that is way above and beyond any other company from an aspect of what full self-driving or what their autonomous driving offers. However, it's not full self-driving. So if you're hoping for full self-driving, you're hoping for that level 5 autonomy, you're gonna have to hold your breath a little bit longer because it's not quite here. And in fact, this NHTSA probe will actually probably bring it back a little bit, I'm guessing, at least as the way that they name it. They might even pull away from the FSD part of it. And however, you know, in reality, like the $10,000 you pay for the full self-driving, you're paying for something that's not quite here yet and probably won't be here for years. You're better off getting that subscription. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Throw it in the comment below. The Rivian R1T, are you guys excited about that specifically, or just more excited about the Cybertruck when it actually comes, if it does? You know, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, week, month so far. You're able to get out there and enjoy yourself a little bit. I know the summer's kind of wrapping up, but I hope you guys you know, having a great year so far, or at least a better year than last year, and that you're staying safe out there. Thanks for watching, everybody.